In the death of Robin Hood, grappling with his past after a life of crime and murder, Robin Hood finds himself gravely injured after a battle he thought would be his last. In the hands of a mysterious woman, he is offered a chance at salvation. The Death of Robin Hood is directed by Michael Sarnoski, and this film is his third feature after Pig and A Quiet Place Day One. And The Death of Robin Hood is being released in cinemas worldwide starting December 18-19, depending on which country you're living. The Death of Robin Hood is a slow, meditative character study of a man at the end of his life, and this is not your traditional Saturday afternoon Robin Hood. This is basically just using the Robin Hood to explore a whole wide range of themes and ideas. There is no traditional Robin Hood action in this film. Yes, in the opening stages of this film, Robin Hood, played by Hugh Jackman, he has to fight like he's a wanted man. He's the most wanted man in the land, and everybody's after him. He's just had a life of killing, and he's killed one people, and a lot of people are after him. And he has to defend himself. He has to kill people, and he gets to shoot some people with some arrows. But there's no real traditional action in this film, especially in the second half of the film. This is basically a character study of a man, and if you're after a traditional Robin Hood film, you're going to be pretty disappointed with this film, I think. And this film is a very slow film. It didn't bother me. It's not a complaint from me, but this is my kind of jam. This film has a lot of similarities with Michael Sarnoski's debut feature Pig. It's about a man just grappling with his past. And this film, Robin Hood, played by Hugh Jackman, this is an intentionally slow film. There's several times in this film where some of the side characters, they do like a speech, like a story or a speech, and they're intentionally speaking slowly, going to tell you this story very slowly. And so this film knows what it's doing, and you're gonna either within the first half an hour if you're gonna be with this film or not. And it just doesn't let up on the pacing of the film, and even the second half of the film is even more slower than the first half of the film. So it's going at its own pace. It's doing its own thing. And I think this film is going to be quite divisive. You're going to be either with it or you're going to be against it. And this film, from the beginning, it's in your face with its like grim. It's color toned. It's the weather and the setting and the 15th century. Everybody's poor and hungry, and the violence in this film. Like Robin Hood, he kills women and children in the first 10 minutes of the film in such brutal style. He's just at the end of his life, and it's at a point in his life when he's crossed a wall and it's just no going back. And that first act of the film, just in your face violence and despair. And when Robin Hood has to help his friend Little John, played by Bill Skarsgård, he is in battle. He has to defend himself, and he's near death. He's at a point in battle when he's been overpowered by the enemy, and he's ready to die, but he gets rescued by his friend Little John and taken by boat to a remote island. And on this island is got like a monastery run by some nuns led by Jodie Corner. And when Robin Hood is on this island, he's given a chance for another life. He has the Jodie Corner character ends up kind of a bit of a love interest for him, but he pushes back against that. I think he's ashamed about his past. He changes his name. He doesn't want to tell anybody the truth. He's like worried about the people on this island because there's still people after him. He's threatened by anybody who tries to get onto this island. So he has a chance to renew his life, to continue his life. But I think at this point, by the time he's on this island, he's already given up on his life. And this chance now, when he's healed and when he's recovered, it's a chance at salvation, a chance to some kind of forgiveness and some kind of reflection on his life. We find out his friend, little John, has been killed, and his daughter turns up on the island, little Margaret, and his chance to do something with his life and some kind of redemption on his life, and he teaches this young girl how to use the arrow and the truth about his father, the truth about his past, and just trying to use her as a way for forgiveness and salvation before his death. And this film, some people will say, okay, why is this film called The Death of Robin Hood? And I understand that perspective, but I think this film is using Robin Hood as a way of exploring a man who is known, who has regrets, who has done a lot of bad things, and he's just trying to balance his feelings and his regrets, and he has so many things going on in here, and he has tried to steal and kill bad people, but this has had a ripple effect on other people, families of these people, and this Robin Hood character is just a mythic character. There's stories and become that are not true, or there's sometimes there's stories and sometimes that really happened, and when they really happen they become stories, and this film is using that Robin Hood character to explore, okay, if you do bad in your life, if you kill people, if you do bad in your life, you can't escape that. It doesn't matter what you do. If you try and change your name like his friend Little John, if you try to start a new family, you just can't escape your past. You have to just run away. Like revenge and violence, it doesn't work. And this moment on the island with Robin Hood, he uses this time to tell people on this island, tell people in his life to look at the life I've lived and don't live the way I've lived. I'll just go through the performances in this film. Both Bill Skarsgård as Little John and Murray Bartlett as the lead, but don't really get much of a chance to make an impression in this film because they're behind such prosthetic and costumes. But Jodie Comer in this film, she's very good in this film. She has to show a whole wide range of emotions, and she has like a very fake wig. But other than that, she's quite commanding on screen. I was impressed with this. And Hugh Jackman, it took me a while for him to get accustomed to the role because the opening acts of the film, they're quite dark, and he's like just covered in like his very thick beard. But then in the second half of the film, once he's on this island, it's quite the light of the sun, and he's able to once he's opens up a little bit and he's recovered, he recovered from his injuries, his performance opens up, and by the end of the film, you really do sympathise with what he's going through. Technically, this film is fantastic. It looks amazing. This probably my favourite scene is in the opening act of the film. Robin Hood, he's standing next to like a shed, and then there's in the background and there's this house that's on fire, and it's just like a postcard. There's so many scenes like that in this film. This film, technically, the sound design mixed with the violence, like every time somebody gets killed, it's like you could just hear the crunching and everything. So technically, this film is fantastic. I give The Death of Robin Hood 4 stars out of 5. This is a very slow, particular meditative character study of a man at the end of his life. It's not a traditional Robin Hood film. This film is not going to be for everybody, but the director, Michael Sarnoski, he uses the Robin Hood character to explore a man who has regrets and he can't escape from his past. And this is reflective of not just people in the 15th century, but also of people now. It's just about a man who's trying to find some kind of salvation, and I was really gripped with this story. It has some wonderful performances from Hugh Jackman and Jodie Comer in this film, and it's extremely well made. So if you can jump on the wave for what he's trying to do, I do definitely recommend checking out this film, especially if you're a fan of the director's debut feature, Pig. It has some similarities with that film, but I did really dig this film, but it's not going to be for everybody. So thanks for watching. What do you think of The Death of Robin Hood? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.